Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena,
Devan bhavayatanena,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
Shreyah paramavapsyatha,
Shreyah paramavapsyatha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah.
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah.
Yajñah karma samudbhavah.
Yajñah karma samudbhavah.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Nityam yajñe pratishtitam.
Nityam yajñe pratishtitam.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. In the last session, we started seeing what is the sattvic approach towards parasparam, the principle of give and take. So he is calling them as santaha, those sattvic people. So sant means a virtuous person, a saint, a sage. Now, what is interesting is, when he talked of tamas, he said stenaha. Then when he talked of rajasic people, he used the word agham. Now he is using the word santaha. In all these three words which he uses to denote a group of people, he is not only describing them, these words which he has used are not merely descriptive. They also tell you two things. One is the state which they are in, that is the way they think, the way they feel, what their bhavana is, what state are they established in, and also practical methods, that is certain practices which you can do to absorb these higher values and actually become sattvic. Of course, when it comes to tamas and rajas, those practical things which one needs to avoid, that also we have seen. So this is a beautiful approach which our masters have taken. That is, they don't merely describe something. See, if you merely describe a person, now how is that going to be useful to you? Last week I had mentioned to you about how you need to admire these things, how admiration helps you to absorb the energy. Now, when we are talking of admiring some quality in someone, it shouldn't be mere descriptive. See, if you're glorifying something in someone and if it is merely descriptive, now your heart will not relate to it. You will not be able to relate to it in a practical way. This is a fundamental mistake which many people do when they get into spirituality. See, when you're reading, let's say for example, Ramayana, supposing you're reading about the Kalyana Gunas, that is the good virtuous qualities of Lord Rama. Now, if you are merely reading it in a descriptive way, oh, this is how Rama was, this is how it is. Now, how is that going to help you? You will have to go a little deep and think about this. We have this habit of merely stopping at being descriptive. If you want to absorb the positive energy, you will have to go beyond the mere descriptive nature and understand first of all what that quality or that state is in depth, and also eke out the practical methods, that is how that quality will manifest in practical living. Only then you will be able to relate it to your life and you will start absorbing it. So merely by describing a Mahatma, merely by describing a yogi, now you will still remain where you are. If you want to become a yogi, then you should go beyond the description and try to first determine what is the core message or what is the core principle which that particular quality is denoting. And then you will have to see how those qualities are manifesting in practical living. Those are the practical tips you will get, which you can readily start applying in your life. So many people are worshipping God. They claim that they are devotees of God. I'm constantly praying to God, they say. Now, if you carefully analyze that, when they say I'm praying to God, their feeling is still that God is somewhere way beyond their reach, far away from them. With that kind of an attitude, they offer their prayers. So then what happens? In spite of being devoted to God, they are unable to see the manifestations or the presence of that godly principle in their practical living. The way they relate to God is always in third person. Somewhere he or she is. See, the moment you put it in third person, that connection goes away. That intimate connection goes away. It is only when you form an intimate connection with God that you will start absorbing that godly or divine energy. And it is only when you absorb the divine energy can you become divine. So whether it is with respect to God or whether it is with respect to your guru or whoever it is, if you relate in a distant way, I'm talking of mentally, I'm not talking of physical distance. Some people may have the physical proximity with the Guru, yet spiritually they may be totally disconnected. So there are many followers who keep praising their Guru. It is good. I am not saying that is wrong. But if you merely do it in a descriptive way, now the Guru will remain where he or she is, and these followers will remain wherever they are. So we always have to see how to absorb that energy and how to practically live it. So that is where your bhavana plays a major role. That's why the yogis say everything depends on one's bhavana only. If the bhavana is not okay, then you may read all the scriptures, you may be able to scholastically study the Bhagavad Gita and understand it also, but it doesn't mean anything. So when it comes to, for example, this word santaha, now what is interesting is, if we use the yogic approach, now and if you penetrate that word, amazingly you will find that it denotes the higher principles. So first we absorb that energy, number one. And number two, when we again use the yogic approach and see how this energy manifests practically, then you eke out all the practical sadhana messages which you can straight away start applying. So if you do these two things, now it is only a question of time. You will also become a sant. The same thing with respect to stenaha and agam. Only thing there is, we use the yogic approach to see what is the principle to avoid that principle. We also use the yogic approach to see how that can manifest to avoid those things. So instead of merely looking at it in a descriptive way, and even though I said admiration in the last session, you have to be a little careful about it, because many people may stop with mere external admiration without personally getting inspired. It is only the yogic approach which will help you to personalize everything. So you may keep on reading these things, you may keep on attending these sessions, but if your attitude is that of like watching a movie, you're not bringing your involvement, you're not bringing your full bhavana, your full personality into this. Now you will just quantitatively keep attending the sessions, but what kind of impact does it create on you? That will be very less. I know some people, they just attend the first session, that is their first session, and they say that phenomenal changes have started happening. Whether it is in terms of improvement in physical health, or whether it is in terms of external success or relationships, personality development, self-purification, they say that there is such a change. How many sessions have you attended? I have just started, just one session. What does that show? that shows that they are going so deep into it, or rather they are absorbing the depth. See, the master is going deep into it, but unless you are tuned to his frequency and you also go deep into it, you will not be able to absorb that energy fully. So when we are reading about this word, the santaha, now put your heart and soul into it when you're listening to this. Let your thinking, then your emotions, your feelings, everything be directed towards understanding this. See, understanding is not merely with the intellect. When you understand something intellectually, it's only a partial understanding. Then when you feel whatever you have intellectually understood, that is when your understanding deepens. And then that is not enough. When you practically experience it, there are certain sensations which you will feel in the physical body, in your senses. When you actually experience that, that is when your understanding becomes complete. For example, if you take a quality like cheer, intellectually understanding what is cheer is of no use. Then when you actually put your emotions to it and start appreciating it, you start getting inspired, your understanding deepens. But when you actually become cheerful, if you were to objectively just observe what happens in your body, each and every cell reacts to that. That is, reacts to that energy of cheer which you have installed in your personality. Whenever, let's say, you're sorrowful, your body reacts in a particular way. Unfortunately, you don't have the objectivity, so you would have never observed all this. If some negative news comes and that causes a negative reaction in your mind, you will find that you may get a pain in the the chest region, or some kind of uncomfortable feeling in your abdomen area, or some kind of pain. It will trigger that. Since you're so attached or enmeshed in what is happening, you fail to observe all these things. At least you should start observing it at the physical level. Whenever you get stressed, what kind of sensations does that stress create in your physical body? The moment you bring that awareness and you do the deep breathing, you invoke the Guru Shakti and you do the deep breathing, at least the physical symptoms will go away. The energy will not get stored. The negative energy will not get stored at the physical level. Then you will be in a better position to go more deep and see what's happening at the emotional level. So one thing is to study all this from a third person's point of view. The other thing is to start absorbing the energy and personalizing it so that you can get into this process of getting to these higher states which he is describing. Then it becomes sadhana. When you merely approach this from a when you understand this as from a third person's point of view, you will become knowledgeable. You will be able to go and repeat whatever Yogishri is giving you to others. That is mere parroting. A parrot will repeat whatever you say. what is the use? A tape recorder can repeat the whole thing. But if you want to create that inner transformation, this is the way. So when he says Sant, you are also a Sant in a limited way today. See, it's from 0 to 100. Nobody will be at 0 level, nobody will be at 100 level. 100 means that is Sthita Prajna, a person who has crossed over. So you will be somewhere between 0 and 100. Let us say you are at 10% level, just an imaginary example. A person is at 10% level. Now to that extent, that is the 10%, he'll be a Sant. So if he starts personally relating to this, then that 10% whatever he is will start getting awakened naturally, and he will be able to continue in that journey. From 10 he can quickly move to 20, 30, 40, he can just keep on progressing. But if the same person studies this from a third person's point of view, then that is not going to awaken the intrinsic counterpart within the personality. See, even when you think about God, when you pray to God, if you pray from a third person's point of view, God will remain wherever he or she is, you will remain wherever you are. But you are also divine. It's from 0 to 100, some percentage of divinity is there, it's dormant. So when you personalize it, when you absorb that energy, then what happens? Whatever little divine nature you have, now that gets awakened. Now the moment that happens, now that will be your base. That will be the base for your inspiration, for you to proceed further. So when you approach all these things from a third person's point of view, you will just gather more information. When you approach it in this way, now you will become a sadhak. This is only true sadhana. It will create a transformation within you. So that is why a couple of sessions back, before we got into the sattvic aspect, I had given you a small homework. Just read this portion of the verse with full bhavana several times and come. That is just to prepare you. So in the last session, we saw one dimension of Sant. See, there are so many dimensions, out of which we are taking up just a few which will be relevant here. So Sant is derived from the word Sat. So Sat means truth. We'll come to truth. So Sat first means virtue, Dharma. Sat means that which is good. The opposite of Sat is Asat, that which is bad, adharmic. So Sat means Dharma, the state of righteousness and the path of righteousness. See, I'm making this division so that it becomes easy for you. One is the state and the other is the path, the practice. So a tamasic person is highly adharmic. He only wants to take, does not want to give. That too he wants to cheat. A Rajasic person is partially dharmic, partially adharmic, whereas a Sattvic person is fully dharmic. So now you relate it to this principle of parasparam, give and take. Then it will become very clear. Whenever a Sattvic person gives anything, he does so in a dharmic way. Anything which he gives, anything which he offers, he ensures that there is no compromise in quality. See, what do we mean by dharmic way? Supposing a person offers his service to you. Now he promises something, but actually what he delivers is much below in terms of quality. Then that is adharmic. See, sometimes due to certain unforeseen causes, the quality may drop. But a Sattvic person will recognize that and put in efforts to correct that. So giving means whatever it is that you're doing in life. See, that is your contribution. Actually, we can stretch this principle of giving right up to the thought level, because every thought we generate is actually something which we are offering to the world, because every thought has an energy. But that is an advanced level. First, we can talk about the parasparam at the physical level. So whatever it is that you say, whatever it is that you do in life, let that become more dharmic every day. Increase the dharma element in all your activities. How do you do that? Ensure that you don't compromise on the quality of your work. Anything which you do that is going to have an effect on another person. So do it to the best of your ability. Then you are being dharmic. So dharma, we saw three sub points in dharma. Dharma means number one, righteousness. Number two, it means trustworthiness. So when you are righteous, you become trustworthy. People will start feeling secure when you do something. See, even in the business world, isn't it common, you would have experienced this, certain products, that is certain brands, you always feel that to buy that brand is very safe. Why do you feel that? Because you would have used some other product of that brand and they would have given excellent quality. So slowly that trustworthiness would have developed. So if they bring in some other product, a new product, let's say, you will just say, oh, this is the brand, I would love to try it. So even if you want to grow your business, you have to first grow your trustworthiness. You know, in the marketing field, they talk so much about brand building. Brand building is a waste of time if it is not backed by quality and trustworthiness. When a person increases the trustworthiness, that brand will automatically build itself. Even if you use some marketing strategies, it will work in the long run. When intrinsically that brand doesn't have that quality, and if you use marketing techniques to promote it, how long is it going to stand? So it is the same thing with respect to your personality also. How trustworthy are you? The best way to find out is ask the people around you. You can ask your own family members. Do you think that I'm trustworthy? Let them give their honest opinion. You should have an objective approach. Otherwise, supposing they say, you're only 50% trustworthy, no, you shouldn't get affected, Sometimes people lose their objectivity, and in the process of sadhana, they get highly agitated. Now, I'm only asking you to do this as a sadhana. So you don't even need to ask, you can easily understand how trustworthy you are by observing the reactions of others. And of course, by delving deep, you will be able to see how much are you compromising on the quality of your activities. The tendency to compromise, that brings down the Dharma element. The trustworthiness starts reducing. So that's why a yogi is very clear. Either he will do something or he will not do it. If he does it, he will do it properly, or he will decide not to do it. For some reason, that's a choice. So even these Sunday sessions, a particular time has been given, especially the Indian Standard Time. Of course, people who are living in other time zones, you can choose a convenient time. But something has been fixed. Every session will start at that time. That is the principle, That is what builds that trustworthiness. Now, as a student, as a sadhak, if you stick to that discipline, then you are increasing your trustworthiness as a student. No point in coming to a guru and saying, "Oh sir, please guide me, please bless me, please give me special healings." Some people ask me, "Sir, I just want to meet you for 2 minutes. Why? If you can just give me some special healing in the 2 minutes so that, the transformation takes place." Why are you asking for all this? Even last week, one person has sent this mail seeking a 2-minute appointment. See, 2 minutes, by the time you walk into the room and go away, the 2 minutes will go away. I don't understand what is the meaning of this 2-minute appointment. But anyway, that person has asked, just for 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, if you can give some special healing, I'll be very grateful, sir. Why are you asking all this? Because you are not following the sadhana in a proper way, in the prescribed way. When you follow every little thing which the Guru is telling you, you don't need to ask for any special healing, because 24/7 you will be receiving the healing energy. A true sadhak is always connected to the Guru through the Guru Shakti. The physical proximity is irrelevant here. So the moment you are asking for something special, it means the quality of your sadhana has been compromised. Otherwise, see, a true sadhak will be so busy in his or her sadhana. So many principles are being given. The sadhana materials have been given. So for you to do your personal sadhana, yoga sankirtan sadhana every day, and then practice all these principles in your office, in your homes, everywhere, that itself will, will make you so busy. You will not have the time to come and ask for some special healing and all that. For a master, everyone is special. He is never partial. But some people receive more, some people receive less. That is because of their efforts. So, as a sadhak, how do you practice this dharma, that is trustworthiness in your sadhana? Sticking to the discipline and not reducing the quality, being fully committed. You practice this and see. Literally, I am telling you, every minute, whenever you want, whenever you seek, you just have to close your eyes and seek the grace of the Guru Shakti. That Guru Shakti energy will start flowing. You will be permanently connected with the Guru Shakti. If you go and ask a true sadhak, do you meet your Guru often? He or she will say, whenever I want, I am in touch with my Guru. How? Just by getting connected. 24/7 it works. The Guru Shakti is constantly flowing. In the yogic path, this is what we follow. See, everything which is being given to you is that which has been followed and experienced. This is not mere hearsay. So when you develop an uncompromising attitude with respect to the quality in your actions, in your speech and all that, then you will become very trustworthy. And then the third point which we saw was responsibility. How responsible are you in your life? This is how Dharma will manifest. If you say, I am very dharmic, sir, I have very dharmic thoughts, but you are highly irresponsible. You don't even take care of your family. You don't take care of your kids. Any work is given to you, you don't do it in a responsible way. But then you're talking about Dharma, God and all this. There is no meaning. That's why I gave you the example of Lord Krishna. He was the one who masterminded the war, the world war, all the strategies, everything. Ultimately, Krishna was behind. I'm saying from the Pandava camp. How much of responsibility is that? Even when he said, I'll be the charioteer of Arjuna, it's a big responsibility, because every arrow which the opponent sends will first pass through Krishna and then only it will go to Arjuna. So it's a very risky and dangerous work if you think about it in that way. But he took it up, the great responsibility. So if you just see Lord Krishna's life, you will see that at every stage of his life, he was very responsible. Right from his birth, he had certain responsibilities. He fulfilled them. So on one hand, he was very responsible. On the other hand, he was also very light-hearted, playful, full of fun and cheer. He didn't allow the responsibility to become a burden. That is what you need to ensure. Because when we talk of trustworthiness, being responsible, what will happen is you will take up a lot of responsibilities and then you will become very serious. Your expression itself will become like that. And the work which you have taken up will become a burden. That should not happen. You can be consistently responsible only if you are light-hearted. So I am also giving you that tip, how to maintain consistency when you are practicing these things. You see, Krishna was very light-hearted. Even standing in the midst of the world war, he was able to smile. So this is what you need to master. A yogi masters this. On one hand, he goes on taking up a lot of responsibility. On the other hand, he is light-hearted. He never allows the responsibility to become a burden in his mind. It's a beautiful combination. Generally, people in the name of light-heartedness, they become irresponsible. Some people, they just keep laughing in a very irresponsible way. They claim that they are cheerful, but they are totally irresponsible. They just keep laughing and fooling around, That is not it. Some people in the name of being responsible, they become very serious. Even a small thing you give them, now that energy pattern in that room itself will change. That is also no use. You cannot continue that. So try to master this balance. The balancing responsibility with cheer and light-heartedness. Whenever you go to one extreme, bring back the other one. If you are becoming too frivolous and irresponsible, bring back responsibility. If you are becoming too serious and you see responsibility as a burden, bring back the cheer element. What is a big deal in life? Everyone has to die one day. You will also have to die. I will also have to die. So at this moment, let me enjoy whatever I am doing. So you should bring that spirit. So if you keep on balancing your mind thus, over a period of time, you will become a sant. You will get established in Dharma. I told you, Dharma has so many dimensions. We have only picked up 3 manifestations of that: righteousness, trustworthiness, and responsibility. So, Sat means good, Dharma. That is the first thing. The next dimension which we will see is Sat means truth. One who is established in that ultimate Sat, ultimate truth, he is a Sant. What is that ultimate truth? The ultimate truth is that supreme infinite reality, that supreme God. That alone is the ultimate truth. So a Sant is one who knows the truth, who is established in that ultimate truth. There is no ignorance left. So I told you, Sant is not just a title which you give to someone. It is a reflection of that inner state. So whatever you are experiencing today is asat, is not the truth. If you go to the Vedas, it is said, Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mityam. Brahman, or that infinite, is Satyam, that is the truth. Jagat, the world which you are experiencing, is Mityam, Mithya. Mithya means is an illusion, is false. Very powerful words. They are not mere words. They are giving their experience. Today, whatever you are experiencing is not the truth. You know, sometimes when you're driving the car in the highway and it is a sunny day, the front, the road, it looks like there's a lot of water. The mirage is created, no? As you're driving, it looks like there's so much of water in front. But that is asat, that is mithya, that is an illusion. But even though it is an illusion, for the person who is driving, he experiences that, he sees that. He thinks that is real. But for a person who has crossed over this mirage, he says, that is only an illusion. The truth is different. So for a person who has gone deep into meditation and who has experienced that truth, that person declares, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithyam. So a sant is one who is established in Sat, who is established in that infinite truth, infinite reality. When you hypnotize a person, you can make that person see an object when that object is not there. You can actually make a person see a swimming pool, that is a pool of water, where it is not there. And not only that, if you push that person into that so-called water, now that person can drown. He will have the actual symptoms of drowning. That person can even die because of that. However much you tell him it is only an imagination, there is no water there, that person can never accept because he sees something else. Similarly, these great masters are saying that this entire world which we are experiencing is asat, is not the truth. The real truth is that infinite supreme reality. It is that God principle. It's very difficult to express it in words. You call that supreme reality as Shiva, as Vishnu, as Shakti, whatever it is that you want. If you have no particular name, you call that as infinite. The names do not matter. What matters is the truth. So the more you advance internally, the more you advance in your perception, in getting established in the truth, the more you are becoming a sant. It is the inner establishment. It is not the outward show. See, true saints, they don't make any show of themselves. Today, your idea of a sant is he should wear a particular dress. He should behave like this. He should do this. You have various notions, But all those things really do not determine whether a person is a sant or not. What is he established in internally? Is he established in sat or is he established in asat? It's a very powerful dimension. So when you get established in the truth, how will that manifest? That also we are going to see. A sant becomes very truthful. What do we mean by that? We will see different aspects of its manifestations. So those are the practical principles which you can take up and start practicing in your life. Because if it merely said, now come on, get established in the truth, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mityam, you will be inspired. But now how are you going to suddenly get out of this illusion? It's not you just can't wish it away. There is a process. Sadhana is a process. So we will have to get down to practical principles. So we will see that also. Truth means, the first thing is acting according to one's conscience. In Tamil, we say Manasachi. That's a beautiful coinage, Manasachi, which means conscience only. See, generally, Sachi means witness. Even in the court, supposing somebody is accused, this person has committed this crime. What is who is the witness? They ask, no? So Sachi means witness. Now Mana Sachi means that which is a witness to your own mind, your conscience. You can fool anyone in the world, but you cannot fool your conscience, because that is constantly recording every thought, every emotion, everything which you're thinking, feeling, saying, everything is being recorded. That's why you may lie to others, but deep within you, you will have that guilt. When you do the sadhana, meditation, all that comes out. It's a usual experience of many sadhaks. Whatever they thought they had forgotten, they get surprised. All that starts coming out when they do the daily sadhana. Oh, this is something which I thought I had gotten over with. Why is it coming back again? You have not gotten over it. It has gone deep inside and it is settled down. You're thinking you've gotten over it. So, being truthful means acting according to your conscience. So, a sant is one who is very conscience driven. He respects the law of karma. See, we are doing karma yoga, no? So, if you don't respect the law of karma, there is no question of doing karma yoga. The moment you act according to your conscience, when you understand what the law of karma is, that is, every cause has an effect, every effect has a cause, then you will not be dharmic to be noticed by others. Whether other people notice what you are doing or not, whatever you are doing will have a consequence. This is something which you should ingrain in your mind. Supposing you commit a mistake where no one else is seeing, still that will have its effect. Why? No one else may be seeing externally, but Manasachi is there. The conscience is there. Watching you all the time. In our Puranas, this conscience has been personified as the character Chitragupta. You know, it is said the god of death, Yama, is there. He has his dimension Yamaloka. So Yama is the king there. Yama is responsible for collecting all the souls. That is at the time of death, I am saying. And who is Chitragupta? Chitragupta is the person who has this huge karmic book. So when someone dies and the soul goes there, he says, Acha, now what are all the negative karmas you did? What are all the positive karmas you did? Accordingly, now punishment for the negative karmas and good things for the positive karmas, all that is decided. So he maintains the karmic book of accounts. He is the chief accountant of Yamaloka, Chitragupta. So just as in an office a chief accountant sees the debits and credits, similarly Chitragupta also sees the karmic debits and credits. What is the meaning of this? You need to think deeply. Chitra means picture. Gupta means hidden. Chitragupta means hidden pictures. Your own conscience is only Chitragupta. Your conscience is constantly recording hidden pictures. The hidden camera is there, installed in your system. So whenever you do anything wrong, it records that. Whenever you do something positive, it records that also. That is how the karmic debts and the karmic deficits and the karmic surplus is created within you. Otherwise, who is maintaining all this? Your own conscience. That is why a great yogi, he said, all the gods are prepared to forgive you. All the gurus, all the saints, everyone is prepared to forgive you. But your own central nervous system is not prepared to forgive you. Your central nervous system has all this recorded. That is the physical counterpart of what the inner recordings are. So your own, the mind, conscious mind, subconscious mind, deeper layers of your mind, they all have these pictures. You say, I have forgotten this, I have forgotten that. Nothing is forgotten. When the deeper sadhana is done, we can bring out all the memories. Starting, even if you take this birth, starting from that moment you came out of the mother's womb to till now, everything is recorded. Then not to talk about the previous births. So that is why it is very important to act according to your conscience. You can fool anyone else, but you cannot fool your own conscience. Of course, you cannot fool your guru also. See, a guru is always the mirror of your conscience. When you find it difficult to go within and hear your own conscience, the voice of your conscience, the Guru will mirror that conscience and tell you what you should do. That's why they say surrender to the Guru and follow whatever he says. That will actually take you inward only. See, what is interesting is when you become devoted to the Guru, a strange thing will happen. On one hand, you will be devoted externally, but on the other hand, you will start withdrawing inside and becoming more conscience driven. Because the inner conscience and the external Guru are saying the same thing only. So you make use of whatever inputs you get from your external Guru. But what is most important is you have to get established in your conscience. So whenever you act or say something which is against your conscience, you will develop guilt. And that guilt will become a strong block. This is the question which Arjuna will be asking. This is in the 3rd chapter only, towards the end portion. He'll be asking, why is it that a person knows that something is wrong, still he does it? It's a beautiful question. So, truth, that is, first we saw Dharma, and now Sat means the truth. It manifests first as conscience. So, a person who follows his or her conscience will be fearless. When you are not following your conscience, that is when you start fearing. There is an unknown fear, uncomfortable feeling which starts developing within you. See, what is interesting is a newborn baby is naturally following the conscience, no faking, nothing. It's just, we will see that also. There are several other very interesting dimensions. Generally we wear masks, but a newborn baby has no masks. Yogi also has no mask. So a baby is in touch with its conscience. That is why it is so sweet. So when you start acting according to your conscience, the inherent sweetness starts flowing from within. There is no fear whatsoever. Why do you fear? Why do you hesitate? Only when your motives are wrong. For a person whose motive is aligned with the conscience, there is nothing to fear. So take this up as your sadhana. From this moment onwards, everything which I say, everything which I do, that should be according to my conscience. If deep within my conscience says that this is wrong, I will not do it. If it gives permission, if it says do it, I will do it. If you're finding it difficult to get that clarity, then you take guidance from your Guru. He will mirror your conscience and he'll tell you, this is the right path, this is the wrong path. That's what Krishna is doing to Arjuna. Deep within him, Arjuna knows that he has to do his duty. But he is lacking that clarity because of the overwhelming emotions. So when he asks Krishna, Krishna is only telling Arjuna what he already knows. He is just mirroring his conscience and telling him. That's why you can never fool yourself, that is your conscience. You can never fool your guru also. No point in hiding and trying to impress and all these things. That is the most ridiculous thing to do. It's a waste of time. Some people do that, They try to impress their guru. Now, you mean to say a master will not be able to see through all that? He will see, but he will not mind. Okay? This person is caught up. Okay, let me give some time. I'm sure he'll come out of that. That will be his attitude. So, number one is acting according to one's conscience. Number two, when you act according to your conscience, it will lead to this. That is Arjavam, uprightness. Being truthful means being upright, straightforward. In life, don't have a complicated approach. See, there are some people who keep on manipulating. It is only when you don't understand the law of karma that you will resort to manipulation, thinking that you can get favorable results by manipulating. That is only temporary. In the long run, truth alone wins. Satyameva jayate means truth alone wins. Buddha said truth is like the sun. A sun can be temporarily covered by a cloud, but when time comes, the cloud will be blown away and the sun will shine. So, learn this quality of Arjavam, uprightness. Lord Hanuman had this Arjavam. That's why even in Sri Hanuman Dhyana, that portion is there, where Arjavam, Arjavam, Ramadhutam Bhaje, that entire portion, that Arjavam has been emphasized. A true sadhak is one who has that uprightness and straightforwardness. See, when you go to a guru for guidance, he will only look at the bhavana. If you plan and program and all that, and guru will say exactly the opposite or something which you would have never thought of, which will unnerve you. That's why it's better to be threadbare. You see Arjuna. The entire first chapter he was trying to give his reasoning, this, that, he was manipulating, trying to justify whatever he is doing is right. But then at some point of time he understood this is not going to work. So he dropped all his defenses and stood threadbare before Krishna. He said, Krishna, I surrender to you. Help me, give me that clarity. The moment that happened, Krishna started giving the wisdom. Till then, Krishna didn't give any wisdom because there's no point. When a student is not having this Arjavam, is not upright, straightforward, the guru will never guide. The guru will also give subtle guidance because the student is manipulating, so he will withdraw. So in life, when you are simple and straightforward, now that gives you a lot of peace of mind. Straightforwardness doesn't mean you're harsh. See, some people in the name of Arjavam, what they do is, they are very harsh and rude. What you're doing is wrong. They say, why are you saying like this? I am practicing Arjavam, they say. That's why you take Hanuman. He was straightforward, but at the same time, he was so gentle, so conscious that he should not hurt another person's emotions. So you should not misunderstand. Arjavam doesn't mean you become rude. Some people, in the name of being straightforward, they just are rude to others. They keep criticizing others. They keep finding fault with others. And then they say, I am practicing truth. Why can't you do that to yourself? Usually, people who keep criticizing others, they are hiding from themselves. They are not truthful to themselves. When the same person is pointed out, let's say somebody else comes and points out some mistake in that person will become very sensitive. He will take it in a very negative way. That itself is a proof. Usually people who keeps putting others down, let's say in the name of cracking jokes, they keep on putting others down, hurting others. Now when somebody else cracks a joke on them, now that will affect them a lot. It is a cover-up actually. It is lack of straightforwardness. So straightforwardness, Arjavam, means that which needs to be applied inside, internally. You need to be very, very simple and upright as a person. When it comes to external interactions, you should be very soft, pleasing. Soft means pleasing. Sometimes you may have to be harsh for a particular reason. I am not talking about that. But your motive should not be to hurt others. So Hanuman exhibited that quality. He was very strong, extremely upright, Arjavam, but at the same time he was so diplomatic, so wise, so soft spoken. When Hanuman used to speak, everyone used to like it so much. So on one hand, you should have that Arjavam. On the other hand, that should be balanced with diplomacy. I am also giving you that quality which will balance this. Otherwise, as I told you, in the name of Arjavam, you will become very rude. I know many people in a very rude way, they just point out mistakes of others, You're doing this, what are you doing? This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. The same person, if he finds the other person doing something good, they will not go and praise. Why not be straightforward in that also? No, that I will withhold. So in other words, they are camouflaging their rude nature with this noble quality of Arjavam. So a yogi is very upright, straightforward, but at the same time diplomatic. Hanuman was extremely diplomatic. It is mentioned in the Ramayana itself, where the description of Hanuman is so wise, extremely diplomatic. So just as I told you, responsibility, but you should also be light-hearted. It will balance. Similarly, when it comes to uprightness, which is a direct consequence of acting according to your conscience, you should balance it with diplomacy. Otherwise, you will become very rude and harsh. And then, see, many people are so rude and then they give their own philosophy. What to do? Truth is bitter, they say. Why should truth be bitter? Actually, it's the reverse. Truth is not bitter. Truth is so sweet. See, you come up with your own philosophy and you keep justifying your weaknesses. So don't do that. You start practicing these things. So you take it up as a homework today. Acting according to your conscience and being straightforward and upright. That is, being a straightforward personality. Externally, sometimes you may have to not say a few things, you may have to say a few. That is where the diplomacy comes. And when you start practicing becoming an upright person from within, which means no big manipulations. You go to, let us say, even in spirituality, the manipulations can come, where you act as if you're doing regular sadhana. Just few days you do, and then you portray it as if, I'm doing my sadhana very regularly, sir. How will that really work? You should think. Who is losing out? It is you who will be losing everything. So in work also, you don't focus on quality, but you manipulate and try to get a good name. All that will fall apart. Truth alone will win. After a while, whatever your true nature is, it will come out. So even in relationships, you keep lying and then you manipulate and somehow convince the other person that what you're saying is right. How long is that going to work? After a while, the truth will come out. Satyameva jayate. Remember this. So we'll stop with that. Powerful principles have been given, and the coming weeks we'll also see a few more dimensions of Sant based on Sat, and also its relevance to Parasparam in the give and take. How, just as we saw, how Dharma can be applied in the Parasparam. Similarly, how these things also can be applied with respect to the giving and taking, all that we will see. So you think about this, you do that homework and come back next week. We'll go into more depth. So now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations in each and every cell of your body. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, lies my real self. My higher self is divine and infinite. From this moment onwards, I choose to act according to my conscience. I choose to be upright. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very powerful session today. These principles of a sant, they will really help you to move forward in your spiritual path. And when you practice these things, it will cause a lot of self-purification, Atma Shuddhi. Just practice them and see the good results in your life. Because there's nothing like your experience. Whatever is told here, that is one thing. But when you practice them and when you see the results in your life, that will give you that conviction. Okay? So do the homework and come back next week. We'll go into more depth. Thank you very much. Hari Om.